I was suicidal as a child. I would say middle school was probably the worst years of my life. That coincided with what I told you happened to my dad in Zambia. I was also growing up during the height of the crack epidemic and increasing levels of violence in our community and poverty and the like. And it was reading and I was at a youth conference once and I heard somebody say suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and that kind of started the process of me thinking differently. But the other thing was music, was more specifically poetry. Reading the work of my Dr. Maya Angelou, Dr. Nia Giovanni, that also helped save my life, because they were the only two people I was reading at the time that were speaking about Africa in a beautiful way outside of my parents, and everybody else was telling me that I was ugly, barbaric, and savage. So I started memorizing their poetry. My parents would organize these Kwanzaa events, and they would have my sister and I perform at these events. So I started memorizing their poetry, like Ego Tripping and Ain't That Bad, and that led me to writing my own poetry. And so that was when I started. So I started with poetry, then I turned to hip hop, and with hip hop, I did that for a little bit, and this is all still high school, and then I realized that I was starting to sound like a lot of these rappers who are cursing and swearing and all of that, and that takes no intelligence to me. Like, I could do this whole podcast right now and rap for like an hour if you just say I can say whatever I want. That doesn't take intelligence to me. So I liked poetry because I had to keep more attention of the audience without an actual beat or a straight rhyme pattern. But then when my nephew was born, I'm an adult now, he was listening to music on the radio that wasn't even edited. And it really bothered me. Like, it was a radio and they were letting, like, the N word come through and different stuff like that. So I started rapping again because I wanted to show him and other kids that you can rap without swearing or disrespecting women. So
Mm.
that's what led to the trajectory of my career. Now I do spoken word albums, I do hip hop albums, I do spoken word and hip hop albums. But the other reason I do it, and this is important for leadership, is that you have to learn to reach people where they are.
Mm.
I can do an all day training with a school, and I train schools across the country on issues relating to diversity, equity, and inclusion and leadership. I can work with teachers and faculty and stuff, but I can also do a 1 hour talk with young people where I'm incorporating the poetry and spoken word, because that's how they're listening in their moment, in their space. And so my ability to rap, my ability to do spoken word poetry helps me reach different audiences. So sometimes when I speak at a school now, I'll spend the day, I'll talk to the students in the morning, the faculty in the afternoon, and the parents at night, because I'm also a parent as well. And so as speakers, you can't expect everybody to just vibe and immediately identify with how you're saying it. You have to be able to adjust to the audience.